you won that the parity and growth of lacrosse. Don't be surprised to see new teams in here. We haven't seen Gettysburg in a while, but they go after top-notch talent year in and year out. It doesn't shock you when you have guys like Tommy Keogh and McGrath and Reichert leading the troops.
Face-off win for Gettysburg. That's a big win. Good start of the half of the Bullets. Lemon comes in and cleans house. Big check by the senior Luke Lemon. Cortland gets it back, and they will head in transition.
Flag down!
Flag comes out.
Flag down! Flag down!
The officials who are mic'd yelling flag down. That was a clear penalty right along the sidelines. Red Dragons can score here, and they do! Brandon Miziak puts it in the top corner. Cortland is in front 5-4.
Goal is good. Goal is wiped out. Goal is good.
The first lead of the afternoon for the Red Dragons.
Well, when you can get a ton of energy from a defensive hit like this, bring the ball up. Right now, it's a free shot with the penalty down. You go after it, and Miziak just gets to the middle of the field. As a defensive team, you always want to force the offensive team down the sideline. Right there, Miziak, that little hitch to the outside, creates space inside, gives an outstanding look at the middle of the field. But it was the hit by Lemon, I thought. Just energized that run right there.
Luke Lemon, one of the rare Cortland Red Dragons, not from the state of New York. He's from Colorado Springs, Colorado, a 4-year starter and a first-team All-American. Got that started. Another face-off possession, though, for Gettysburg. That's a good sign, considering as a team, Gettysburg came in at 46%, and DeLuca came in at 70% for Cortland. Speaking of which, let's look back at Gettysburg's keys.
Well, that early start, it came out 3-1. Tie up DeLuca, not so bad. You know, Cortland won 7 out of 3 in that first half. But I thought Gettysburg, with their wing play, sometimes negated a quick draw from DeLuca. We didn't see too many pushes out front from the sophomore that created instant offense. So although they lost some, they set up their losses better, I thought.
And they've won the first 2 of the second half. A good sign here for Gettysburg, but Cortland has the lone goal of the third quarter just underway in the third, and they lead for the first time this afternoon at 5-4. The Bullets tried to feed the crease. The officials don't buy the fact that it's a shot, so it will head to Cortland. And as the Red Dragons take possession, we check out their keys to the game.
Get Morgan rolling. 0 goals, only an assist. And Tota in tight. I think he's the recipient of Joey Morgan attention a lot of times. Only 1 goal out of him. Tribute to the Gettysburg defense.
Nice defense on the ride there by Tyler Feely.
But a lot of times when you see Tota in the action early, it's really a result of great midfield offense. Guys like Miziak and Morgan creating space and then looking inside to Tota. But when you have great defensive midfield play like we're seeing out of Gettysburg, those opportunities for Tota are limited.
Dano Lynch has possession, moves it to his left after the turnover by Cortland that gave it back to Gettysburg. The Bullets will back out. Set up the offense. Here's Lynch down the left side. Up top for O'Donnell. Extra pass, McGrath. Stutter step move. Trying to get a shot off. Guarded by Hoyt. It's knocked down and scooped up by Hippenbecker. Hippenbecker the save. Morgan the clear. Transition chance here for Cortland. Morgan brings it to the middle of the field. Now will go towards the net. Bounce shot goes well over the cage and out of bounds. And backed up by the Red Dragons. A look back at Hippenbecker's first save of the second half.
Well, it's a roll to the outside by McGrath. Just an easy save for Hippenbecker. Didn't look like McGrath put much under that shot. Speed-wise, Hippenbecker makes the easy stop.
Miziak has the hat trick today, 6 on the turn. He scored the last one for Cortland. Last two actually scored the game tying goal late in the second quarter to make it 4-4, and the go-ahead goal to make it 5-4. DeLuca tries to dodge, shut down, moves it along up top for Morgan. Good ball movement here for Cortland. Start of the third. Morgan straight away.
Here's another 6-on-6 set with no Tommy Keogh. I don't know if it's just him not being able to get on the field from the defensive midfield position.
Miziak in front, spins and scores. The feed from DeLuca.
Thank you. I think he heard you on the stall.
Cortland opens up a 2-goal advantage at 6-4.
Hey, Matt, 9 get fixed. Number 9, get it fixed.
Miziak
Step your helmet up, sir.
playing his best ball here. You see, that's a nice feed inside, but the Gettysburg defense right there. You have to play physical and play the body inside here. Miziak catches that between two Gettysburg defensemen. Not even a check there.
Down.
I mean, if you're a goalie, you have to call out the defense right there. Play with the body inside. He needs to feel a defensive presence inside on a close-range shot like that.
Cortland starting to roll here. They win the faceoff. They're on a 4-0 goal-scoring run. Gettysburg has not scored since the 3-minute and 24-second mark of the first quarter. After going up 4-2, it's been all Red Dragons. Cortland settles in offensively. And Clark, I think this is a dangerous portion of the game right now for Gettysburg. They haven't scored in a long time, and now all of a sudden it's a 2-goal deficit.
And if any team can afford to go behind in this game, it is Gettysburg, because Cortland has the dominant face-off play of DeLuca that can create a run if they were to go down by a few. I'm not sure if Gettysburg has that.
Feed in front, it's Mulvaney. Was triple teamed, deftly got out of that. Able to move along to a teammate on the right side to Stefano. Drives towards the crease, checked by O'Dearna. Good solid defense by the sophomore from Oyster Bay, New York.
We saw O'Dearna
38, keep
earlier
your hand
on
off the
in that
plastic,
second
sir.
quarter
Careful,
with
it
some
slides
nice
up.
takeaway checks. Big, rangy guy, O'Dearna.
Duffy, a senior, feeds it up top for Mulvaney. Thought about the shot. That one rings off the post.
This is an absolute rip by Kroll. You heard the pipe.
It knew to go that way, not that way.
That ball's on cage.
Here we go, sir.
We're looking at 7-4 right there. Defensive pressure right there. You have to press out against the shooters if you're Gettysburg. Play the hands. Uncontested shots right now in this early stage of the second half. That's not what you want out of your defense.
And Cortland, who we heard from their head coach Steve Bevel heading into the locker room at halftime, started slowly. They are playing with a lot of confidence right now. Morgan takes a big hit there. Keogh back out on the field right now. Gettysburg, he switches now to cover Morgan. This right here is DeLuca on the left wing. Feed in front, saved by Firschman. Went low to stuff Toda. The freshman found his way to the crease, but Firschman makes the save. Ground ball stays with Cortland. Kroll moves it along.
What a great save by Firschman right there. It was the feed, though, of DeLuca to find the backside underneath cut by Toda. Great vision out of DeLuca.
Here's Toda right here. Shoots over his shoulder.
Wait.
And it's backed up by Cortland.
Pick it up, step on the field,
sells
sir.
out for it.
Step
O'Dearna
on.
couldn't get there for Gettysburg. Big save there by Firschman to prevent a 3-goal deficit.
And it's the tempo right now. Cortland completely controlling the 6-on-6 set. We didn't see it early on in the game. I think Cortland, even their first couple goals off a transition, never really got their offense in sync.
DeLuca winds and fires. It's saved by Firschman. And if there's anything that can spark this Gettysburg team, it is hot goaltending. That's what they're getting right now. Furshman, 2 big saves, but good defense by the Red Dragons.
20.
And it will head in the direction of Cortland. Nice D by the Red Dragons just when Gettysburg was getting it to their offensive side of the field. Greg Martin was bumped out of bounds.
Look at the steady cam right here. A blown clearing opportunity for Gettysburg.
Good right there, gentlemen. Good
Tenacious
right there.
ride by Morgan. Never giving up on the play. The great midfielders do all those little things, not just score goals and assist on plays. You ride, you play defense, you get after it. From a full field standpoint, Morgan certainly can do that.
Miziak over there as well. So Gettysburg has to play some more defense in the third quarter. That's really what they've been playing since the mid-first quarter when they last scored. Mulvaney up top, loops a pass to the right wing. The good news definitely though for Gettysburg is Furshman's played very well. And he'll need to continue that play. Gettysburg needs it back and they need to find something offensively, but first it's defense as Mulvaney goes towards the cage. Circles it back, Dutkowski. No angle to shoot, checked by Keogh.
John!
He forces
Now!
Dutkowski out.
Keep it in!
You hear the officials yell, keep it in, a stall warning against Cortland.
Cortland keeping it in the box right here. Lacrosse, if you're stalling, you're not showing any effort to attack the cage, they'll call a stall warning.
Ball on the ground, Cortland keeps it. Cross-field pass.
Go behind.
O'Dearna playing some solid D against DiStefano. Up top, Mulvaney thought about it, doesn't do it, backs to the top of the box. Now it's Kroll. Spinning, shooting, misses wide of the net, backed up by the Red Dragons. They'll maintain possession. Good long possession here for Cortland. Let's visit now again with Matt McConnell down on the sidelines. Matt.
Guys, you talked about the mental focus. Can Gettysburg hang? Well, they are facing their biggest deficit of the entire game. And the mental focus, you talked to Hank Janzik this week. He said, we've gone after the kids. We've had hard practices. We've done the video. The question is, can they get this stop and figure out a way to get back into the lead?
Thank you, Matt. That is a great question. Can they figure out the stop here? Right now, they're playing solid defense, but Cortland content to just sit on this.
Keep it down, keep it down, keep it down.
Cortland is just dominating ball possession right here, crushing the clock. If you look at it, under 5 minutes in this quarter's flying by without a really good Gettysburg possession.
Right directly behind the cage, the fourth attackman, freshman, gets it up top. Mulvaney misses
it's already
wide
out.
of the net.
It's already out, goalie.
Freshman there, right to Mulvaney. And you hear the officials, they'll say it stays with Cortland.
I'm questioning that call right there when the ball went out of bounds.
Keep it in!
I thought Furshman was clearly closer to the ball when it went out of bounds. They awarded Cortland possession
Easy one.
with another opportunity here to kill some clock and score another goal, make it a 3-goal margin. That was a blown call.
Cortland, the beneficiary, now can work some more clock. Leading by 2.
Flag down!
Officials yell flag down. Penalty upcoming. Morgan scores first. Morgan touches it home. It's a 3-goal lead for Cortland. The Red Dragons are rolling in the Division III National Championship game.
You know, sometimes you think it's not a big deal if a ball is awarded here. Clearly, Furshman, when that ball goes out of bounds, he's closer to the ball when it goes out of bounds. That's the call, not closer to the sideline. And then it gives Cortland another opportunity to keep their top 6 players on the field. And Morgan plays off ball. Morgan, accustomed to breaking down a defense up top. He does it off ball with a great backdoor cut.
5 straight goals for Cortland. They lead by 3. It's 7-4, and they win another faceoff. Here come the Red Dragons in a hurry. Score again for Cortland. It's Kroll on the right wing. 6 in a row for the Red Dragons.
Might be a good time to call a timeout if you're Coach Jancic. Stop the bleeding. But when you have a great face-off man like DeLuca, your 2 and 3 goal run can be 4 or 5, the blink of an eye. Right off of the face-off, the push in front, the clean break for Cortland. And then the rip by Kroll. Red Dragons 8-4.
And another face-off win for DeLuca. DeStefano, that ball is deflected off O'Dearna. Looks like it hit his hand, and it goes well over the net, backed up by Cortland. The last 2 Red Dragon goals, just 9 seconds between them. Cortland is rolling, and Hank Jancic and Gettysburg, they are reeling. Let's check back in with Matt.
Yeah, guys, hey, Hank Jancic, the head coach of Gettysburg, was screaming for a timeout there, but they couldn't get him because they couldn't make communication with the official at center field. So the play moved on. We'll see if that has an effect here.
Well, I think that was a huge missed call right there in terms of not getting that timeout. I understand why Coach Jancic wanted it so bad. This third quarter,
Get them down. Let's go. They're fine.
critical for an offense that's reeling, Jason, like you mentioned, on such a drought, and then you have a Red Dragon run. Time to regroup. You look at the second half shots, 12-1. I can't even recall a good possession this entire third quarter for Gettysburg.
Well, it's been 30 minutes since Gettysburg scored. The last 2 Cortland goals, 9 seconds apiece, or in between the 2, so those numbers tell the story right there. Cortland scoring in bunches, especially here in the third quarter. They've scored 4 unanswered in the third, and Gettysburg hasn't scored since the first. Now the Bullets take possession, and boy, do they need to put one on the board here.
Easy, stick down.
Great defense right there by Tom Burke. You saw him on that last faceoff start that fast break off of the DeLuca draw.
Oh, shoot.
Lynch, it eventually gets to his stick after it was deflected a couple of times. Schneidman presses out defensively. Cahill to his left, now his right, back to his left. Burke is draped all over him. Good defense by Burke, the D-midi.
And if you look at this Cortland team, these guys are young. There's some talent on this field. Only freshmen and sophomores are getting it done. Saw that great pass by Greg Wright on the last Morgan goal, and guys like Mulvaney, only a freshman, Wright a freshman, DeLuca a sophomore.
Up top shot, save by Hippenbecker. I'm not sure if he saved that so much as the ball just hit him because he didn't even move, but Gettysburg will keep it. Dano Lynch settles things down, guarded by Schneidman. Lynch towards the cage. High step move there, moves it along behind the net.
Get stick.
The officials say get stick as Lemon thunders away with a couple of checks on Brody. The officials, of course, mic'd here by CBS College Sports. You can hear them in the background all afternoon. Listen in to what the action is like down on the field. To the crease it goes. Saved by Hippenbecker. It was Brody in tight. Hippenbecker missed the save.
You see Hippenbecker raising his hands for a goalie when you get a cushion of an 8-4 lead. A lot of times you play your best relaxed ball. We're seeing it right here in the eye box. Hippenbecker, what a save.
That was a good opportunity there for Gettysburg. We're under a minute to go in the third quarter, a quarter that has been dominated by Cortland.
Approaching 30 seconds here in the third quarter. Look for Cortland to keep doing what they're doing. Controlling possession. Taking care of the ball. Going through their offensive progression.
Keep it in! Keep it in! Keep it in! Keep it in! Keep it in!
You think the refs want to keep it in? You hear the shout right there, another stall warning. When the team's up, they're very sensitive to that one, and another rip for Misiak.
Misiak puts it into the net after the officials tell them to keep it inside. And Cortland is on fire, a 5-goal advantage.
Well, that's a backbreaker. A rip by the junior. Misiak, 6'1", 200 pounds. Brute force to get above goal line extended with 1 second left. That one is a backbreaker for Gettysburg.
What a huge game here for Misiak. 5 goals in the afternoon, has 8 now in the tournament. Gettysburg will win that final faceoff of the third quarter, but it is a quarter that the Bullets will certainly want to forget. After being tied at 4 at the half, it is all Cortland. In the third quarter, they score 5 unanswered, 7 unanswered in all. A 5-goal lead for the Red Dragons as we head to the fourth quarter. We look at the scoring by quarter. It started out with Gettysburg scoring 4 in the first. They haven't scored since. And in the third quarter, you see all Cortland scoring 5 unanswered. Well, today at 2:30, CBS College Sports presents Legends, the 1989 NCAA Lacrosse Championship. Join us as we commemorate the 20th anniversary of perhaps the greatest NCAA lacrosse title game of all time, featuring Syracuse and Johns Hopkins. It's a Lacrosse Sunday from start to finish on CBS College Sports, the pulse of college sports in Kark. Every sport has that game or handful of games that sort of define it, and that game is certainly it for lacrosse.
Well, it was it for me. It was my first Final Four, and I've never missed one since. Watching players like Dave Petramala, Gary Gate, Paul Gate, Tom Maricek, Matt Panetta, they paved the way for future stars. You look at a guy like Dave Petramala, revolutionized the defensive position, followed up by guys like Rick Beardsley from Syracuse. That was a game that I think was monumental in terms of the growth of lacrosse, the style of play. Every defender wanted to be the next Petramala, every offensive player the next Gate.
And that certainly has led to the level of play we see here today, not just at the Division I level, but the D3 level here in the national championship game. Of course, the D2 national championship game coming up later on CBS College Sports. Just a great day of lacrosse here on the network. That ball hits the side of the net. Cortland will look to clear. As for the here and now, Gettysburg needs stops, they need goals, and they need face-off victories.
And they need to put pressure defense on Cortland. Go out, take some chances. You're down 5 right now. You need to gamble. A lot of shut-off defenses, I think, for Tommy Keogh. That means all 5 defenders lock off their man and let number 15 go to work and try to take the ball away.
Certainly the Division III Player of the Year is a great weapon in the arsenal for Gettysburg to get back into this game, because we saw him earlier with one of the more fantastic stick checks of the weekend.
No, they don't. No, they don't. 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is Morgan in front.
Procedure white. Too many.
Too many men on the field for Cortland.
That's high school.
We'll see Gettysburg try to clear the ball.
Back up.
But you have to gamble if you're Gettysburg right now. You don't want to hold anything back. Couple goals here in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Then you start chipping away. You get this game to 9-6 early on in this fourth quarter. Then you have yourself a ball game.
And Gettysburg can score. They're not a team that is a ball control style team. So if they can start putting points on the board, up and down suits them just fine. Some big hitting by the Cortland defense, and Gettysburg can't get anywhere near the cage on that opportunity. Back up top it comes. Andrew Ryan. And he'll move it along. Gettysburg substitutes some offensive middies out onto the field. They need offense in a hurry in the fourth quarter of the Division III National Championship game from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Brody by his defender to the cage. Good trail check, feet in front. Shot is tipped away by Hippenbecker. It's loose behind the net.
The ball's right there. Easy, man, get up slowly.
Cortland once again successful clearing the ball. I think they've had a huge advantage in that department here today. Led by guys like Tom Burke, the defensive midfielder. Been calling his name quite a bit today. Clearing ground balls, starting fast breaks.
Nice. I'm liking this.
It does seem like Burke is always around the ball. Short stick D. Mitty Jr. from Massapequa, New York.
Yes, you do, Coach.
Massapequa on Long Island, they call it Pequa. They've had some great players over the years in Nassau County. And some future stars, really impressed with their young players. Some of their youth coaches, guys like Jim Conan, has some future stars in Nassau County that will go on to great pastures in the Division III, Division I ranks. That's a program that I think traditionally is up there on Nassau County.
Miziak feeds the crease, behind the back shot is saved by Firstman. Firstman comes out of the cage, he's using his speed, and he clears. Here comes Firstman, flag comes out. Firstman brings it all the way into the offensive zone, draws a penalty, makes a big save. Perhaps that is the spark here for Gettysburg.
Stay. No.
I think Firstman's held up his end of the bargain today, letting up 9 goals, high percentage shots right on top of him. This kid obviously wants to play some lacrosse.
To the right wing, shot, score! Tom O'Donnell! Deep on the right side. The drought is over for Gettysburg. And the Bullets draw within 4.
Tom O'Donnell feeling the energy from their goalie, Firstman. Just rips it. Cortland 9, Gettysburg 5.
Did you?
Back at Gillette Stadium, 9-5, Cortland in front of Gettysburg. For all the latest news, stats, polls, and more, visit NCAA.com. NCAA.com is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Big turnaround here for Gettysburg. They went 38 minutes and 27 seconds between goals. It started with Firstman's 11th save. He sparked the Bullets, and now they are back to within 4. But always looming is DeLuca at the face-off position. DeLuca faces off at about 70%.
They just have to have one.
He'll go nose-to-nose with Stanton.
An interesting move right here. DeLuca not taking this face-off. It's actually Justin Bettino. Gettysburg wins. Kind of a puzzling move. Maybe DeLuca isn't at full strength.
He stays out of the field quite a bit. Yeah, you're right, Bettino 21. I saw the 1, just assumed DeLuca. He'd been out there all afternoon, but Justin Bettino, the sophomore, no slouch himself, by the way. Bettino wins 58% of the faceoffs he's taken so far. Now 67 of 114 on the season. Gettysburg gets possession. Every possession so valuable, so they call timeout. It's 9-5 Cortland. It's Gettysburg ball. They trail by 4, 9-5 in the fourth quarter of the Division III National Championship game. 10:07 to go. And now let's take a look at the AT&T game recap. A rundown of the numbers, and that shot differential, Clark, is huge in this game so far, though Gettysburg has started to turn it around.
But it's been the possession of Cortland that really coincides with that shot discrepancy from Gettysburg, 31-19. The stat is kind of creeping up right now. Face-offs won, 10-8. I thought that if Gettysburg can approach that 50% mark face-off-wise against DeLuca and Bettino, that two-headed monster from Cortland, they could be in this ballgame.
And that's our AT&T game recap. Now, the reason why Bettino was taking that face-off, it was DeLuca who slashed Furshman, the goaltender, along the sidelines. So actually Gettysburg on the man advantage here. So that's why Bettino came into the game. Huge opportunity here for Gettysburg. They score about 27% of the time.
And that's like a twofold.
Behind the back shot is stopped, I'm not sure. It got to Hippenbecker.
Good.
Ball is loose.
That's
Pops out towards the corner. It goes to Cortland.
Well, I was in the middle of a thought right there. It was like a twofold gift for Gettysburg. You get the penalty against DeLuca, then you take him out of the game to win a face-off. Would have been an outstanding opportunity to kind of capitalize on that man advantage. Cortland gets the ball bouncing their way.
Nice play. Pucci thought he had it in his stick. He knocked it to the ground on the ride. The pass coming from Schneidman. Now Cortland finally able to clear. Pucci thought he picked that one clean. Ball loose along the end line. Out of bounds. Touches the line and heads to Gettysburg. Every possession so vital for Gettysburg. Obviously because they trail by 4, but also because now that the penalty is over and Cortland is back to full strength, they'll be dealing with DeLuca in the face-off position, and they turn it over right at midfield. But here comes Keogh to the rescue. The D3 player of the year. Keogh goes to the net and gives it up. Big play by Tommy Keogh to get that back for the Bullets.
Monster ground ball by Keogh. Almost another blown clearing opportunity. And although you might not think of those as the biggest mistakes in a game like this, where Cortland has shown that they can kill the clock at minutes at a clip, I mean, this is a huge possession for Gettysburg.
Lynch whistles it wide of the net. Dano Lynch, sophomore midi from Medfield, Massachusetts, playing in front of the hometown fans here in Foxborough. Medfield, a few miles down the road. On the crease, saved by Hippenbecker. May have caught part of the post, and a crease violation against Reichert. He was right on the doorstep, goal line extended.
You're seeing some serious energy out of Hippenbecker.
Post, got the post.
Got the post. But if you look at the end of that play, the Gettysburg player falls into the crease. They call a crease violation. He was pushed by the Cortland defender.
Remember that backup, no call. Furshman appeared to get out of the cage, which led to a big goal for Cortland in the third quarter. Perhaps another one missed that goes against Gettysburg. Now again, the Red Dragons with 7.5 to go in the ball game, and a 4-goal advantage can slow the tempo.
Hats off to this Cortland defense, letting up 5 goals, led by Hippenbecker.
Save Furshman. No slowdown for Cortland here. Now Gettysburg has to clear. They've had trouble in this game. And the officials throw a flag. At first, I thought it might just be a push. But the flag comes out, penalty, and another man advantage chance here for the Bullets.
This was certainly with possession. You take another look at this one. Clearly a trick right there.
Goalie top left.
I don't know if they called it a push or a trip. If it's a push with possession, it'll be 30 seconds. 1 minute on a trip right there. It's a personal foul as opposed to the 30-second technical foul.
And Gettysburg has been really bad, I guess is the way to put it, on the man advantage. They're 0 of 3, only 1 shot though so far on their 3 man advantage opportunities.
But not real shocked here, under 30% for the season, right? You want to be higher up in terms of man advantage. to really be an efficient unit clicking on all cylinders, always want that man up over 30%.
They're at 27. And the other figure looming is the fact that only 11 times in now 89 tries has Cortland allowed the team to score when they are down a man. That's under 13%.
Those are incredible numbers. When you think about it, holding the opposition's man advantage team to 13%.
To the right wing, shot, save, Hippenbecker. Ball is loose. It was Danny Calalora, the senior, fourth attackman, was alone in tight. Hippenbecker makes the save. Now Noble will look to clear and does.
Easy. Turn all right.
See it in the eye box right there, the save by Hippenbecker. This is the best goaltending we've seen from a Cortland team since their national championship run with Gable, who was brilliant in 2006.
Gettysburg is back in this one, but Hippenbecker shutting the door for Cortland. It's a 4-goal lead for the Red Dragons. Thank you very much, Matt McConnell down on the sidelines. Jason Chandler, Paul Carcaterra up in the booth at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Division III National Championship game on CBS College Sports. 9-5 Cortland in front. 5 of those goals scored by Brandon Miziak.
Well, Miziak was the 5th leading goal scorer during the season for Cortland. Today, numero uno, 5 goals. Doing it in an assortment of ways, dodging, breaking down a defense, off ball, brute force, 45, has been brilliant.
Miziak, a junior from New Hartford, New York. 7 shots, 5 goals, 2 ground balls, has 31 in the year, 7 on the tournament. Just a monster game on the biggest stage. Keogh against Morgan, the matchup we've been watching. Keogh, the D3 player of the year. Morgan, a first-team All-American. And Morgan able to elude the assorted checks of Keogh that time, and Cortland keeps possession.
Now, if you're Cortland, you go back to that ball control offense. Make the clock your ally.
Nice check there. That's what they need. Yanni Peary, senior captain from Portland, Maine. Another New England entry. Ball just falls right out of his stick there, though. Gettysburg able to keep it. It's Frischman, who's been very good here for Gettysburg. Had that big save, drew the penalty, which led to Gettysburg's 5th goal. Hippenbecker down the other end has been good as well, and he kicks that one away. The 3rd save of the quarter for Hippenbecker. The other 2 were both in man-down situations.
Ball's up.
Gettysburg maintains possession, however. Every single possession so critical now for the Bullets as we approach the 5-minute mark in the 4th quarter. And Gettysburg trailing by 4, trying to win their first ever national championship.
You're Gettysburg here, you want to go after Joey Morgan, number 19. He's gassed, playing offense that whole last series, running back on the defensive end. Take advantage of this opportunity.
That one hit the post as well. Again, Hippenbecker may have found a piece. Some hitting in front of the cage, but a couple of times this quarter, Hippenbecker the beneficiary of the post. Clear for Cortland. More good defense there by Gettysburg. They're keeping the pressure on. They're doing what they have to do, try to get possessions, but offensively they cannot figure out this Cortland defense.
It's the Cortland defense, the pressing ability, the one-on-one play, some great goaltending by Hippenbecker. Let's make no mistake about it. Some unfortunate pipe shots.
This is the Cortland defense, by the way, that pitched a shutout in one game this season, 22-0 against Mooresville State. They know how to play defense in Cortland. Feed to the crease and a score for Gettysburg. It was Pucci in tight, made the catch in traffic, spun, shot, and scored. Gettysburg crawls to within 3.
Well, Pucci's their leading goal scorer for a reason. 36th tally of the year. It's the inside play of number 16 right here. You see him going back and forth a little bit, catches the ball and sticks it low. A real nice feed by Dano Lynch, spotting Pucci inside.
So back to the face-offs we go. DeLuca back in v. Stanton. Ball on the ground, nice ground ball by Burke. Keogh thunders away with a couple of checks, can't dislodge it, and Cortland will take possession. Under 4 to go in the ball game.
Keep your composure if you're Cortland.
That shot whistles wide of the net. Back up there, and the person of Jay DeStefano.
3 minutes and 47 seconds. You can call yourself a national champion. No need to really press offensively. Use the clock, spread the field before the 2-minute warning where you have to keep it in the box. Use the entire offensive end.
Cortland has won national title in the past 3 seasons. This their 4th straight appearance in the Division III National Championship game, going for 2 out of the last 4. Salisbury has the last 2. Cortland won in 06, spectacular overtime fashion. I mentioned Gable, the goaltender, was so fantastic in that game that, Mark, you and I did. This lead a bit more comfortable for Cortland. But still, it's just 3.
When you called it.
Ball's on the ground. The officials saying no call. Bodies everywhere. Gettysburg has it. They need to clear. Both teams look real tired, especially on this clear here. Gettysburg needs possession. They get it. They need to get it across midfield, however, and that's been a bit of a problem in the second half.
My time. Right. Enough, Mike.
Injured player behind the play. Can't quite see the number, Kark. I'm not sure if you saw who it was when he went down for Cortland.
Hey guys, come into the bench.
Originally I saw Morgan taking a beating.
It is Morgan. It's 19 Morgan. Their senior captain from Putnam Valley, New York, first team All-American.
Come on in for a sec.
He's been all over the field, offense and defense, really. Let's take a look at what happened to Morgan, 19 down on the ground for Cortland.
Well, he was just trying to kill some clock.
Where's the ball going to start?
Just got crushed from the other side right there.
Ben Engelman, number 1 for Gettysburg, laid the hit. Morgan has a goal and an assist on 6 shots this afternoon.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if it's a Charlie horse or possibly getting the wind knocked out of him. Looks like they're working on his leg right now. These guys have been on the field. It's warm here. Certainly tired on that last possession. You could see that Tommy Keogh was gassed as well.
And I was watching, it was
2:39 to go in the 4th, 9-6 Cortland in front as they attend to Morgan. Just a reminder that today at 2:30, CBS College Sports presents Legends, the 1989 NCAA Lacrosse Championship. Join us as we commemorate the 20th anniversary of perhaps the greatest NCAA lacrosse title game of all time, featuring Syracuse and Johns Hopkins. It's a lacrosse Sunday from start to finish on CBS College Sports, the pulse of college sports. That comes up at 2:30 as Morgan gets up onto his feet, and he is walking under his own power, which is great to see as the crowd gives him a nice round of applause. Good to see Morgan heading off to the sideline under his own power there with his team up by 3.
Well, you look at the change
right over there, it's on the floor right there.
of the goal scorers from 2008. Hughes, Heath, Saminsky, Hyde, they're gone. Tota, Kroll, Morgan, and DeLuca. Unbelievable that they're able to replace that type of goal scoring and senior leadership with a young offense. But I think the key thing was Morgan was the glue, the senior. He was a big part of that offense in 2008. He was that calming force, a go-to guy, a leader on and off the field.
This new group of stars for Cortland just a little over 2 minutes away from a national championship. But first, Gettysburg has possession. The drive to the cage, and the shot misses to the near side, backed up by the Bullets. They maintain with 2:27 to go in the ball game. Division III National Championship on the line. Ball checked. It's loose. Gettysburg will keep it. Cortland continues the defensive intensity. Gettysburg needs a shot in a hurry here. Double team up top it comes. O'Donnell straight away. O'Donnell, a senior, shoots, misses wide of the net. Cortland gets there on the backup. Great hustle by the sophomore Justin Schneidman.
Schneidman, the big strider. Great hustle by the sophomore out of John Jay. Got to see a lot of him when he played his high school ball up in Cross River, New York. I know Cortland alum Barry Bachlitt's happy to see Justin Schneidman do some work here today.
Cortland clears. Cortland alums everywhere closer to celebrating a national championship victory.
Stepped out! Stepped out! Delay!
So the officials had told, as you can hear, Cortland to keep it in. They did not. They stepped out, as indicated by the refs down on the field. And so Gettysburg will get another possession. Still not out of the realm of possibility by any stretch here for the Bullets with $1:40 to go. But with the way Cortland's been playing defense, Gettysburg really needs to figure it out in a hurry. To the net, O'Donnell saved by Hippenbecker. Kicks it away, a big one late.
What a save by the senior netminder Hippenbecker. Up by 3, a late charge here by Gettysburg. Been playing so loose here this afternoon.
Cortland with possession, now a minute away from celebrating a championship. Timeout is called on the field. 1:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Cortland with the ball with a 3-goal advantage. Going for their second title, their first since 2006. That's the last time Cortland won, and what a spectacular game this was, Clark. Cortland against Salisbury. Ryan Semensky tied it at 12 with less than a minute to play in overtime. Ben Gable everywhere, making a ton of huge saves. And then with 2 seconds left in OT, Mike Felice scored the game winner. Cortland wins its first ever D3 national title, 13-12. But Gable is what stands out to me. I mean, he was just unbelievable in that overtime. Anytime a goalie in a sudden death overtime situation has to face that many shots, I mean, he was fantastic in that championship game.
Well, he played his best lacrosse of his life that afternoon. That was a magical game, one that will be remembered for quite some time when Cortland captured that national championship. But right now, just a little bit over a minute, Coach Bevel gets his first national championship.
This is Coach Bevel's third season, so was not the head man in 06. Has been 07 and 08, so he's been here 2 straight times, both times denied by Salisbury. Now he's 1 minute away.
Third time's a charm, and you have to really tip your cap to Coach Bevel and his ability to take a young offensive group and mold them. A bunch of selfless individuals that spread the ball around, goal scorers from all angles. A fantastic coaching job by the Cortland Red Dragon staff.
Gettysburg gets it back. The National Player of the Year, Tommy Keogh, a senior playing in his final game. He wants to end on a high note here. Shot, score for Gettysburg. Not quite done yet with 26 seconds to go. It's Joe Brody in front, so the lead now 2 for Cortland. We'll watch it from the turnover.
I mentioned earlier in the open, Tommy Keogh just ignites transition. He does it here, running the break like an offensive midfielder. He spots up Brody, and Brody does a nice job of selling the defense low to create that space.
Griffo won the faceoff cleanly for Gettysburg. Big win for Griffo, first time in the ball game in a while. We're down to 17 seconds, but Gettysburg has a possession here. Shot saved by Hippenbecker. He stuffs him with 8 seconds to go. He'll throw it the length of the field. Cortland has it. They will sit on it. It's over. 2 out of 4 for the Red Dragons. Cortland, 2009 Division III National Champions. There's number 19, Morgan, holding the trophy. That injury that he had a few minutes ago not bothering him so much right now. He's a national champion. 2 straight years, Cortland denied by Salisbury. The Red Dragons are back in the winner's circle for the first time since 2006. Cortland has won 2 of the last 4. 9-7 the final. Valiant last charge by Gettysburg. Plenty more from Foxborough after this. One of the best poses in all of sports. The championship team huddled around the championship trophy. Cortland Division III National Champs. 9-7 the final over Gettysburg. Kark, the Bullets made a nice charge at the end, but too little too late as Cortland played well really from the second quarter on to win their second title in the last 4 years.
I was so impressed with their ability to do the little things. Ground balls, physical play. The Red Dragons played with a level of intensity. They could smell a national championship, and they closed the deal with great senior leadership. Hippenbecker in the cage, Morgan at the midfield. This is a special group of seniors after so many departed stars a year ago.
Cortland is celebrating. They are celebrating in Central New York. They're national champs. Once again, our final score, 9-7. Cortland wins the Division III National Championship for Matt McConnell, Paul Carcaterra, and our entire CBS College crew. I'm Jason Chandler. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Championships at ncaa.com. For the latest scores, news, highlights, and analysis, log on to cbscollegesports.com. This has been a presentation of CBS College Sports, the pulse of college sports. Congratulations, Cortland, and thanks for watching. Post news from Foxborough in just a moment.
More AC.
The Division III has been decided. The national championship goes to the Red Dragons of Portland as they defeat Gettysburg by the final score of 9-7. And our big day of college lacrosse has just begun here on CBS College Sports. The Division III national championship is in the books. We'll have